In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to do summation from filtered data in Excel. First, open the Excel workbook that contains the data you want to work with. For this example, the sample data is placed in cells A1 through B6. This gives us a simple table to demonstrate how filtered totals work in a practical way. Next, make sure your data is ready and clearly organized in the worksheet. In this case, we're using the values in that A1 to B6 range as our sample table. Having your data arranged in columns with headers makes filtering much easier and helps Excel recognize the table correctly. Now apply a filter to the data. Start by selecting the entire table, then go to the Data tab at the top of Excel and click Filter. Once the filter arrows appear in the header row, use the arrow on the column you want to filter and display only the records you want to include. This is important because the goal is to calculate a total based only on the visible rows, not everything in the full list. After filtering your data, click an empty cell where you want the result to appear. For example, you can use cell B7. In that cell, type the formula equals subtotal, then an opening parenthesis, then 9, a comma, and the range B2 through B6, followed by a closing parenthesis. The formula should calculate the sum for the visible values in that range. A quick tip here: if your numbers are in a different column or your list is longer, simply replace B2 B6 with the range that matches your worksheet. Also, the number 9 in the subtotal function tells Excel to return a sum. If you want a different result, you can swap that number for another supported function. For example, 1 gives you the average of visible cells, 2 counts visible numeric cells, 3 counts visible non-empty cells, 4 returns the maximum visible value, 5 returns the minimum visible value, and 9 returns the sum. Once the formula is entered, press Enter. Excel will immediately display the total for only the visible rows in the filtered range. Finally, view the result. The key advantage of using subtotal is that any rows hidden by the filter are automatically excluded from the calculation. That means your total updates based on what's currently visible, which makes this method especially useful for reports, sales data, and filtered lists. And that's it.